Hello everyone, and this is SeReNiiTYzZ here, back with another awesome Fortnite Battle Royale gameplay today. And this time today, guys, I'm not sure I can live up to the Valor excellence that we saw from the last video, although this is a very sick gameplay in which I was playing as the Blockbuster, but as you guys will have seen from my truly excellent solo gameplay as the Valor skin, these were my Blockbuster a few nights of playing, and the Valor one came actually after my the previous gameplay came after this Blockbuster win, but I had to post out Valor first because of how sick that game was, and not to sort of dismiss the hype of this game because it was a very nice ending, and I played really well in this one with a really nice start over the disco factory area here. And like I said to you guys before with my previous solos I've been uploading recently, really enjoyed playing solos recently. I've decided to always go, the first step on the bus, or, tilted towers like I've said, so that's what I'm trying to do for my gameplays now. And I've definitely noticed as well a real improvement in my individual performance as a player in Fortnite, because I'm getting much quicker stops on the bus, and probably generally into more fights as well. So I'm really happy for the exposure to play my absolute best, and I really hope you enjoy another fantastic solo gameplay today, because this was a really nice one as well. It starts off in a very exciting fashion as in comparison to SeReNiiTYzZ, Queen of Tilted Towers she was, but I really hope you guys enjoy this one today. It's another nice gameplay and I'm very looking forward to getting into it. And as you can hear, it's all popping off outside, and the only thing I'm thinking right here is a shame I haven't got a shotty, but Blockbuster SeReNiiTYzZ makes his move anyway and tries to live up to Queen SeReNiiTYzZ, see if he can. But at this moment here I can hear someone in the building, so I'm just taking my time to be careful here. Really nice play to get the SMG out. Knew that there was a person right near me, and it's the Bright Gunner who comes up a bit early there, or Bright Bomb, I'm not sure which one that is, and managed to pin her with the blue SMG. Really nice play, because did have the green pump out there, so that was a really nice bit of play, and take that green pump now, which is nice. At this point here, Hero Mega coming up to me, so get ready to fight. And at this point here, some really nice builds, but I end up blocking myself up a little bit with my stairs because of the sort of incline. But a really nice shot onto the guy for 69 damage there with a green pump from a bit of range. That was a really nice shot. And at this point here I just decided to throw a portal at him, because just to sort of make him panic, and at this point I lose sight of him as well, which is a bit of a shame. Just completely lost sight of him for a moment, and I can hear that he's now equipping a shield pop, but it's all popping off. There's more than just him here, and I've had a really nice start to the game, getting my kill. But at this point here I'm just going to play it safe, because about 125 HP, so I'm just being really cautious to not be too open out there, when there's other players around. And at this point here I hear some grenade launcher, and also hear the sound for when a player leaves the game, so I'm not entirely sure whether he died up there or what happened, but I can't hear any more noise, so I just decided to get materials, and I'm going to have to check that out. But as I can see, I think these were his weapons here that he dropped after he died, so it's a bit unusual. Someone must have killed him, so I'm still on the lookout for that. And as I'm sort of roaming around here and looking around, just seeing where he might have died from, and have a decent amount of wood there, start to hear some shots. The guy is shooting someone behind me, so I bear that in mind as I kill him. Turn around, it's lucky he didn't see me there, and I'll be able to get them both. I was actually in between both of those players having a fight, and this guy on the ground who looked like to be the winner of the fight didn't see me. That is sheer exquisite timing on my part, and I guess you could say a bit of jamminess for me to get lucky in that way. And again, just before we had the transition there, more action at the disco. I can't keep up with it. I haven't even had opportunity to loot in this gameplay. That's how excited this one was to start. And as you can see, another player, tilted disco factory area. What is going on? Going on to my porta fort there, and at this point here as well, just monitoring this guy, because like I say, I don't think I've ever come here and not had the opportunity to loot, but that was what this was like in this gameplay. And at this point here I was just focusing on trying to get this guy dead, because I was thinking that this is going to be the last guy. He probably has a lot of loot, and that's what I was hoping for at the time of this gameplay. And at this point I tried for green AR earlier but didn't hit any shots, but eventually hit the one that counts, and managed to take him out there. Really nice play, considering he had a massive bit of height advantage, and yeah, just great play for me to survive all that. That was one of the craziest disco, I guess you could say disco factory area starts I think I've ever had come in here. So pretty crazy start. I'm happy to say that I survived. And you know, really feeling accomplished after that one, and start the old 10-minute recording because I can tell it's going to be a good game. But very rarely do I have these kind of starts, and that's why I've been doing this kind of thing, as I said at the start of the commentary. Really trying to sort of, you know, get more explosive starts for you guys watching my channel, and obviously for myself as well, to improve my individual skills, and you know, just some crazy starts to solo games. And you know, this is definitely the type of thing that's possible when you go first step on the bus and, you know, do well and play well to make this kind of stuff happen. But I've never come to this area. I've come here many times with my friends and you know, individually, and I've, you know, seeing it like that with all the build fights that occurred there, I've never had so much action at the place, to the point where I haven't even looted. And at this point I honestly think I have a look over Flush Factory, because I feel that most of the looting would have been done perhaps in my facility, although with all the fighting that we did, maybe they didn't get time to search everything, so maybe I could have gone back there. But I decided to go Flush Factory on this occasion because I can see a chest, and I start to think, you know, this might be unlooted, so you know, what I'll do is I'll just kill everyone at my area to start off things, then I'll loot, you know. Maybe that's the next meta strategy for you know, high kill games, you know, loot after you've killed everyone. But but that's definitely what I did in this gameplay. And you know, Flush Factory is in the zone as well, so I thought, you know, I might as well look at it. It's relatively unlooted, so I decided to loot it, and I'm very happy to find a chug. Really, you know, it's fantastic to have a chug, and we've seen what I can do with it in the previous game with SeReNiiTYzZ, with near death margins, getting out of situations. But yeah, you know, the chug is very helpful, and you know, a great thing to find for a solo gameplay. It's always about finding that right balance, about, you know, when to use it, and you know, obviously it's 14 seconds to use, but that doesn't matter for SeReNiiTYzZ. But yeah, definitely great thing to have, you know, especially for the late game if you can get it off, because you know, it's a fantastic heal, 100 health, 100 shield, you know, full health straight away. You know, it's a fantastic thing to find. At this point here, guys, just continuing to loot. It's nice to get traps, since they're pretty OP now, 150 damage. You know, it's pretty insane. So definitely traps are worth taking. And I've seen what, you know, my Manjaro bro, my sensei, SeReNiiTYzZ can do with them, and I'm trying to, you know, achieve the same standards. We'll see if we can get that. But but at this point here, guys, just continuing to loot. It's nice to find a slurp, because I actually said at this point in the gameplay, I remember this game happened a few nights ago, but I was thinking to myself, you know, if I get like minis here, I'm just going to hold on to the chug. I'm not going to use it for, like, you know, 75 shield. I feel it's going to be worth more to me than that. And you know, there's still like 18 players left. Where's the time gone? You know, I killed a fair few of them at the Disco Factory area. But yeah, it's pretty insane to already be top 18. So I feel that the chug, yeah, you know, it's worth hanging on to a little while longer, I think. And at this point here, just search this chest. Unfortunately, it has nothing in it of value, but you know, really good play. You know, really insane start. I couldn't keep up with it. Like I say, that's what I'm starting to achieve in my solo gameplays now, from going to very competitive areas. And like I said, it's definitely working for me. I feel a lot happier with doing that recently, because I've really been enjoying playing solo. You know, it's great to increase your individual skills on the game, and you know, I think exposure to a lot of gunfights is the way forward in Fortnite Battle Royale. So you know, really positive vibes right now, guys. You know, for SeReNiiTYzZ, but you know, I feel very happy to be doing that, and you know, I can't complain with that, because it's been much better for me. And I actually have a spectator now, which is quite funny. The spectator in this gameplay, I have quite a few people watch me towards the end of this one. I had a little fan club rooting for my corner. I don't know if it's intentional, if the guy wasn't there or something, but he does actually spectate me all the way to the Royale win. And I'll let you guys in with a little secret at the end. I have a little sort of audience at the end when I win this gameplay, which will be quite funny to see how many people learned of my victory at the time when I got it. But at this point here, guys, you know, nice play to go to Flush Factory and recover, you know, some of the loot that I could have probably got in you know, the Disco Factory area before it became, like, you know, a complete war zone in there. So I didn't, you know, even have time to really loot. nice play to get some materials after all that craziness. And it would have been nice actually if someone came out of Flush Factory and had looted the place, and I just killed that guy and that saved me a couple of minutes and more time for killing. But that's the way it was. It's a nice place to make use of what's left in the zone. I saw on the bus that no one really went there, so I think that's another reason why I chose to go Flush Factory at that point after I'd killed the guys at my area. So nice play to remember that would have been unlooted, and that's worth sort of considering sometimes. If you don't see many people go into a nearby area, it's worth considering if you want to pick up some extra stuff. And at this point here, guys, I'm in a nice peaceful place. I don't have to go too far in this gameplay because the final few circles are in this shifty area, not too far off the road from where I started from, so I really didn't have to travel far in this game, probably under 1 kilometer actually, to be honest, so really not to worry. But someone did come here. As you can see, the chests have disappeared. I don't know why they didn't chop down the tree, because this thing has like 100 wood in it, which is completely worth picking up, and I have no qualms about destroying it. It's a bit risky to perhaps do that late game because it's a massive beacon to your position, but to be honest with you, I don't think there's anyone around. It's still a massive circle. If there is someone with a sniper and they hit me from here, fair play to them. I'm cutting down the tree because I want the materials. But at this point here, guys, just not falling up at this point, because like I say, if someone can hit a snipe from one of these other areas, fair play to them. I will build if I get shot at. I don't really feel like setting up here because I'd rather just keep my materials. You could set up in a small little 1x1 here. I just chose not to because I wanted to just be roaming free and just looking around the hill, because it's quite a big hill to monitor, and I want to get all views of people coming in the zone. But as you can see, I'm not standing still and continuously moving left and right and jumping around, so that if someone does take a snipe at me, they are going to have to be bloody good with it to hit me from wherever they are. So that's why I was just really jumping around there and staying moving. At this point here, I see a straggler out of the storm, and don't take the best opportunity to shoot here. And this is a crazy bold move that you're going to see from Blockbuster SKIN right here. But when he wants a move, he just goes. But a little bit silly of me to not build a flat. I was on the normal part of the mountain side, so the damage wasn't going to be a lot. But the guy does actually shoot back a little bit, so it nearly cost me. But I guess I could say I was looking for an excuse to use the chug. So after that clumsy fight, I had 38 health, and feel like the chug was worth it after that, but a little bit silly. Should have built a flat piece. It could have been quite embarrassing if I had died. But there you go. I'm able to use the chug, and it's been sort of worth it now. And I got a med kit from that guy and some more ammo and some more materials, so everyone's a winner. And I've got another spectator now to watch me towards the end of this royale. But yeah, just at this moment here, guys, just surveying the zone, just with my area, just seeing what's around me, if any more players have come around, and just looking around. The crate is coming in, and I think that's the next thing on my mind to secure here in the gameplay. So right here, guys, just looking to get the crate. Remain pretty local to shifty shafts for most of the game. Got my little fan club below, 3 people watching me, so thanks guys, really appreciate it. At this point here, going for the crate, and feel that I'm pretty secure after my perimeter scouting. And decide on the gold RPGs. Really nice to get a launch pad out of that crate, and it's really annoying to leave a shield pot behind. Sorry, I'm going to take the shield pot with me. I think that's a good decision because pretty essential to have that, and it's 2 shield pots as well, so definitely worth taking. Had to sacrifice one of my shotties. A play that I would have done here is just to maybe put some which I actually come on to do because no player visits it, I will let you know, but I would actually put a box on that with a trap inside, so that no one can get that other loot, because there is a blue grenade launcher down there, which if someone did pick that up and had rocket ammo, they could potentially use that against me. So that was one thing that I sort of thought about at the time of this gameplay. But I think where the sort of zones are going, gold RPGs will be a better friend to me than perhaps grenade launcher, because there's a lot of hills in this zone, a lot of inclines and stuff. And I think generally for that kind of fight, rockets should be your main focus. So at this point here, just getting a footing in the zone. I could have sort of hung around for a little bit. Only making this a 2-up because it's only about 20 seconds until we find out where the next zone is going to. So this base doesn't need to be particularly well invested in, just, you know, really a scouting base. Like how I did that. I've also got a launch pad now to get away if things get a bit, you know, hairy or what have you. If it gets a bit crazy, then I have got that to rely on. At this point here, notice a lot of fighting off in the distance, and just being careful here to not get, you know, sniped or anything like that. Just really looking around. You can hear, I'm not sure if I heard a shot earlier. I won't know that from here on the recording screen, but I think I'm not sure if a shot came in at me earlier. So if that was the case, good thing that I'm remaining low. And at this point there, just nice scouting to see, you know, at least two players are fighting now. There's 6 players left, so 5 others. So I've accounted for 2 player positions at this point, and you know, just being careful to suss out where the other 3 are. So, you know, in a pretty good situation. The zone is more next to me and the area that I'm currently in, so it's nice for me to be able to secure it in this way. As you can see, it's up on these couple of hills, and at this point here is where I talked about earlier, just securing off this bit of loot, because obviously we don't want someone to get a grenade launcher on their way up to me here. That would be pretty terrible, and you know, I would say based on that wood stretch alone, no one's going to bother to look in it. But you know, yeah, so really nice play to sort of box that off. You know, just I had vibes of someone grabbing that, you know, grenade launcher and finishing me off with it, you know, up here on the hill. But at this point here, really nice play to get in the zone early. Like I said, I accounted for 2 player positions coming from this sort of east side of me. So looking to get in early, and there's already a player here, so you know, great play for me to be able to do that. Have to be quick in this fight because he did get a shot onto me. It's a good play from him. I don't think he was expecting a rocket to come in on him, and at that moment there, that first rocket hits him perfectly dead on. That's why I'm being more aggressive here, and building ramps and being careful as I push him, so that he can't get a shot at me as I'm building. And do that really nicely and come over to him, whip out the blue tactical, and finish him off for a really, really nice play there. And at this point, don't think of building here. It's possible, like, you know, could have built, but to be honest with you, I just didn't think it was necessary because there's no one around. I'm also using my sound all the time, so I'd be aware of it if someone was coming over. But just nice play to get that shield pot on very quickly, and grabbing the things that I needed from him that were good, and you know, nice to actually kill him without using many materials as well. It only took me like a few bits of wood really to get rid of that guy. So really nice play, considering, because you know, it just enables me now to keep on to the rest of it, and I do need to hang on to the last bits of material I do have. So at this point here, guys, 3 players left in the game, I think, so this is a pivotal time in solos. Obviously 3 players is a bit of a magic number, because you know, it's sort of like the situation where if you can get those 2 guys fighting, that's the time to really go. So 3 players left is always an interesting scenario, so it's always worth waiting until the, you know, very crux of it, I feel. And also I'm in a good position to the zone, so for me I don't really have to do too much here. I've still got a lot of, you know, really good toys to play with, and at this point here, just a really nice place to remember that. And also night is starting to be removed, which is kind of nice, because at night time, in this sort of area, it's very hard to spot players that are underneath in the woods. And at this moment here, I know there's a guy to my left in this massive tower, and I can see that he's taking a bit of bombardment from the guy in the forest, so I just let them fight it out a little bit. You know, I check where the zone is going first. I now know the next destination of it. It's directly ahead of me, down where that other guy is. So I know that now. You know, it's good for me to sort of establish that. And at this point here, I think the greatest threat to me, although his threat's slightly removed now, is this guy with the tower, because it's a massive base over there. He does have a lot of height. So, you know, I don't really want to sort of, you know, until I decide like what happens to him, you know, I need to be careful how I make my move into this next area. And at this point here, I noticed that the tower is still sort of, I can see the guy's launch padded over to it, and I think this is the other player attacking him, so this is really the time for me to try and capitalise now. Now this tower as well is not in the zone, so it's quite fortunate for me this guy was bold enough to go and attack someone. But the only thing here is when there's a winner, which there is now, because it's one of them got the better of the other, I can't give this I can't give this guy like time to loot now. I really have to put the pressure on quickly. And at this point here, even though this tower is not in the zone, there's still quite a bit of time before it moves in. I figured at this moment in gameplay that I could potentially get him. It was a very bold move for me to play like this. But I had a few games before this solo game in which, you know, I lost for not playing aggressive enough. So I like the fact that I did this, to be honest, because I was determined to try and close out the game right here, right now. The only problem with it here is I'm quite high up on the structures that are not my own. But I really like the intention to get more aggressive on players at the end of solos, because I was playing a bit passive before, and sometimes that's allowed the other player too much time. So I have to be careful of that. And lucky for me, would have taken some full damage if that had gone a bit lower, but luckily for me he builds up to a point where I can land a square on. And just being careful here, I do have a bounce pad to get down, which I choose not to make use of, because I can just fit the square flat piece onto that one there and manage to get down safely. But definitely a difficult time there because he was just above me, so did really well to get down there without taking any damage. Some really nice play. It put the pressure on him, the honus on this guy who's left in the game for me, and at this point just added the pressure because he's put himself in a really awkward position, just between me and the sort of the high ground. At this point here, I'm making it hard for him because I have a lot of AR ammo and I can afford to waste it, and just keep the pressure on him so he has to keep rebuilding, and he's really wasting his materials doing this. So at this point here I decided to get a bit more aggressive on him just because from that range he still has a bit of an advantage point over me, so that's why I was trying to crank up the pressure here a bit, and still keeping some really good pressure on. He's switched out to brick now, which is an interesting sign because it could mean he's out of wood. So at this point here, that's really clinical for me to sort of bear that in mind and go for the jugular here. At this point here, try to build a stairs, but I need to build a flat before I can do that. And this point here, he really doesn't have anything left, and I just finish him off, and he doesn't even land a shot in the end. So really good play for me there, get the hype dance going, and have a little audience. If you look in the bottom left corner, when I won, I had 7 people for 7 kills that knew of my victory. So there you go, 7 player SeReNiiTYzZ fan club right there. Quite interesting to see. The eye counter go up to 7. I think that's probably the highest I've been spectated in a solo game. I think 7 is my record, but yeah, so 7 people learned of SeReNiiTYzZ victory as the Blockbuster in another Blockbuster movie. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this gameplay. It was a nice watch, probably my best win in the Blockbuster Skin thus far, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This was SeReNiiTYzZ, guys, with another solo gameplay, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.